Hey, what's going on guys? Foodlust is back and today I'm making mini meat pies. But I like to call them next level sloppy joes because they have this amazing ground beef, sweet and spicy tomato sauce mixture baked in a little mini pizza dough pie. Stick around, I'll show you how. Alright, let's make some mini meat pies. I have a couple of top sirloins that I've cut up into cubes. I'm going to ground my own beef. Now you don't have to use top sirloin, you could use chuck or ribeye or anything else, and you don't actually have to grind your own meat if you want. You can just use regular store-bought ground beef. I like to grind my own beef because if you watch my show regularly, you know how I feel about store-bought ground beef. I've got a pizza dough that I made last night. If you want an easy pizza dough recipe, I'll put a link up above. You can go check that out. I also have some fine diced onions, a little cubed Monterey Jack cheese. We have some tomato paste, some spices, a little brown sugar. After we make this mixture, we're going to put it in a little pizza dough pie and bake it. Let's get started. I have my grinder attachment that I've just taken out of the freezer. I want this frozen. I want it really cold so I can get a real nice grind. I've also put my steak in the freezer just to firm it up a little bit, and that'll help as well. I put about 2 teaspoons of oil in my pan. That top sirloin is pretty lean. There's not a lot of fat in it. That's why I've added the oil. And I'm going to go in with my diced onions. Once my onions are ready, I'm going to start adding my ground beef. This is a little smoked paprika, chili powder, and some cayenne pepper. And a pinch of salt. This is a tablespoon of brown sugar. A good heaping tablespoon of tomato paste. We have a cup of beef stock. Now we're going to go down to simmer. Just let this come together for about 20 minutes. Now I'm going to remove this and let it cool, and we'll move on to our dough. Go ahead and start to roll this out. Now that I have my dough rolled out, this is the pan we're going to use. It's just a mini loaf pan. You can actually just use muffin pans or a small little souffle dish. Those will work just as well. I want to make sure that my dough is going to fill the inside with a little bit of overlap. So I'm going to use the back of this pan as a template. I'm going to press down to form an indentation in the dough. So you can kind of see these little rectangles that it formed. I'm just going to trim off the excess right now. Now I have these little dough pieces that'll fit perfectly into that pan. If you need to, you can always stretch it out just a little bit or flatten them, maybe give them another roll to increase their size. So I coated my pan in cooking oil, and I took the rectangle pizza doughs and fit them into each of these holes, and I stretched them out to make sure that they fit well. These are going to make our little mini meat pies. This is the leftover dough that I brought back together. I'm just going to go ahead and roll this out now. Now I'm going to go back down on my dough and make that impression again. Now this time I'm going to cut these closer to size. Now I'm going to start to fill these with the mixture. I'm going to take some of my jack cheese And here we have this new dough that we're going to place on top. We're just going to give this a little bit of a crimp all the way around. So we'll continue the process with the rest of the pies. We'll pop this in a 400-degree oven. We'll check it in about 15 minutes. And there it is, mini meat pies or next level sloppy joes. Now you can go ahead and use a hamburger bun, sure, but that wouldn't be foodless style now, would it? By the way, I did cook these for about 25 minutes. I browned them on the top. I put a little foil on them. I wanted to take a little bit longer so I could get these sides nice and browned. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you part of the family. We'll put out a weekly video. You get to watch for free. Cheers. Wow, that's really good. That filling inside is just like eating a sloppy joe. The pizza dough worked out pretty well. Next time I might try some puff pastry or even put it in a round muffin pan. But I'm thrilled at the way these turned out. They are amazing. And that's how that one goes.